part of this live session, please do well to call in early on time so we can deal with whatever it is that may represent your concerns or questions and get along. Today is the last trading day for the week. Remember, we're in a brand new month and it's all looking fantastic in the Nigerian market already, right? So we're going to be going through that and take a look at the top gainers for the day first, after which we proceed with other interesting things that is happening in the market right now, especially knowing that some more results were released in the course of the week, public holidays, and some of them, which are stocks we already have and are pursuing, are doing great already. So here are the top gainers at the moment as we speak. Number one on the list is Cadbury. How many of us remembers me talking about Cadbury the other time? Well, Cadbury continues to power up, now 31 naira 90 kobo per share, 10% gain. If you were here when I mentioned Cadbury, that Cadbury had turned the corner and things are looking pretty great right now, please indicate by just typing the word Cadbury, 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 Cadbury. I want to be sure that you are following me and we're making progress, we're hearing each other, and we're getting these live updates as I'm sharing with us. Cadbury turned the corner based on their first quarter results and things are looking pretty great. Yeah, Ife Chukwude Ogochukwu, I see you there. Alerted King, I see you there. Cadbury, Cadbury, Cadbury. Wellness and Skin, thank you very much. Instagram family, I'm not seeing your response yet. Just type the word Cadbury. If you are seeing me, perhaps it will sink in your subconscious that indeed that's one stock to own. Do not go chasing these stocks. Just take your time, let them be available, then you go after them. From the first quarter result, Cadbury is doing well, and today it has been proven they are the number one top gainer for the day. Thank you very much. I see your response there. Second on the list of top gainers for the day is Tip. Amazingly so, 10% gain so far, 4.4 naira 95 kobo at the moment. Did I remember to mention that Cadbury is now at 31 naira 90 kobo? Okay, third on the list is Bitter Glass, gaining 9.96%, now 109 naira 80 kobo. I remember mentioning Bitter Glass at around, is it 58 or so, or 48? Well, it's 109 naira 80 kobo at the moment, third on the top gainers list for the day. Fourth on the list is Carverton Helicopters, 9.92% gained, 2 naira 66 kobo. Carverton is one of those stocks that had a very bad 2024. I haven't been able to check their first quarter result for 2025. I don't know if it's out, but I'll take a look just in case they've turned the corner as well. Then they could be a very good prospect. Who knows? Maybe that is the case, and that's why they are featuring today on the top gainers list at number 4 already. Number 5 on the list is UPL, that's University Press Limited, 9.89% gained, 4 naira 11 kobo. ABC Transport is number 6, 9.71% gained, 2 naira 26 kobo. And ladies and gentlemen, what do we have here? Presco. Presco is one other stock I kept mentioning that, look, this stock is worth 1,000 naira per share and even more going into the future. 2-3 years from now, it should not be selling for anything less than 1,500 naira based on the potential that it has. And there we go, 9.55% gained. Presco is now 860 naira per share. I remember around November mentioning Presco at 400 and something naira, and a lot of people were able to buy, right? And then we did an analysis of the 1 year low that Presco has ever traded in the course of the last 52 weeks, which is a year ago. I saw that Presco traded as low as 208 naira per share. Maybe it was a market dip that time that affected the whole market. But guess what? Within a year, what anybody had bought 208 naira per share is now 860 naira per share. Besides, if you didn't get it at 200, well, At least when you knew me, I started mentioning it here at 450 or thereabouts. Yet, here we are, 860 per share Presco, showing some very strong potentials and representing. That's because their first quarter result was excellent, and it continues to be so following their expansion into Ghana, where they bought a particular company that is into rubber processing and oil palm also. Guess who is on the list at number 8? 9.09% gained today is CWG. CWG is one stock that has frustrated a lot of people by reason of how very lax the stock price behaves and very inconsistent it does. If it tries to move up, it eventually drops. Whenever it tries to move one step forward, it takes 2 steps backwards. But for anybody who was patient enough to buy CWG, when I mentioned it at 5 naira, today it's around 10 naira 20 kobo. Double your investment already. CWG happens to have had a good performance as anticipated many months ago. Maybe, just maybe, I identified these stocks too early, and people, or most of the people who listen and sell off these good stocks before they eventually materialize into something great are people who need patience. This is the reason why patience is a virtue. Patience is a virtue. Even the Bible teaches that, because through patience you can become wealthy. But if you are impatient, you will lose money. It is impatience that makes people invest in CBEX, MMM, and MBA Forex and all of those things. Please be patient. Make patience your friend, because the richest people are the most patient people a lot of times. Stay patient with your investment and watch what happens to you. You don't need to follow me for 1 year to start seeing results. Some people join me just within 3 months, they are seeing results. Just stay patient with whatever stock you have, and do not panic as though you are a stranger to the market. Minty Cinti, thank you for joining. Ife Anisha is also on Instagram today. Ask Henry is here. Thank you very much. Dr. Pokuola Bankole, thank you for joining. Clinton Ogura is there also. Appreciate you. One for Paul, thank you very much for joining. The Instagram group is growing by the day. So what do we have? That should be all. But you know what? We also have FTN Cocoa at number 9, NEM Insurance at number 10. Then NACO is 80 naira per share. Who would have believed that? This is a stock I bought for 9 naira per share, and what we are seeing now is 80 naira per share. So I have made capital gains worth about 71 naira per share. So imagine if I spent 1 million naira to buy, 9 million naira then to buy 1 million shares of NACO. The 1 million shares that I bought for 9 million naira is now worth 80 million naira. And this is completely outside all of the dividends that have been paid. As a matter of fact, they declared 5 naira 94 kobo per share as final dividend for the 2024 financial year. So if I had that 1 million shares, I would also be standing by to receive about 5.9 million naira as dividend. Yet I bought the stock for only 9 million naira. So you can see what can happen to you if you stay patient. Guess what? 5 years ago, this same NACO was as low as 2 naira or 2 naira 50 kobo per share because of the market crash occasioned by COVID-19. You know, the airline industry and all of the leisure and hospitality businesses suffered a lot because people didn't travel at that point when the whole world was trying to obey social distancing safety procedures. So such stocks collapsed, and that's why I made a post 3 days ago or so talking about how you should see market volatility as a friend and not an enemy. When COVID came, the entire market across the world crashed to its knees, but now everything is back up. This NACO crashed to 2 naira per share. It wasn't even up to 10 naira as at that time when it crashed. But guess what? It rebounded and has become such a solid growth stock. It is still powering up. 80 naira per share from just 5 years ago. Imagine you spent 2 million naira to buy 1 million NACO then, and they also gave bonus shares of 1 for 5. So your 1 million shares would have now been 1.2 million shares times 80 naira per share. Let me do the maths very quickly. 1,200,000 times 80 naira. What do you have? 96 million naira. What you spent 2 million naira to buy 5 years ago. So imagine we are doing what we are doing right now on a daily basis, and all you had to invest was 2 million naira. And you are patient enough to pick some of these stocks we are mentioning, and you relax and check back 5 years after. Check out what happens to your portfolio. It doesn't necessarily mean it must jump this high as NACO has done. But guess what? You can't continue to be at the same level following me. And that is why I always say confidently that if you are not following me, you are losing money. Now you can see, imagine you were part of my community and you bought NACO then. And this is why at this time we are looking at the least priced stocks so we can take position and invest. Please don't wait till the session is about to close before you start asking your questions. Please do well to put forward whatever questions you have, and eventually you will be attended to. So I'm going straight to the market now to take a look at what's happening with most of the stocks that we have been tracking all these years. First off is a stock called TIP. Ladies and gentlemen, current status of TIP is 4 naira 95 kobo. Up till the day before yesterday, I kept mentioning TIP may never go below 4. So if you see it at 450, buy. And I'm sure some people bought TIP at 450. What do we have here? Full bid, 2.8 million bids, no offer for TIP at the moment. 1.2 million shares traded, valued at 6 million naira. As we speak now, TIP is unavailable in the market and at 4 naira 95 kobo. All right, I'll go straight to your questions. How do I join the club, sir? Ezekiel is asking. Ezekiel, send me a DM on Instagram and asking to join Net Worth Investors Club. I'll send you the link afterwards, and then you follow the instructions on how to download Discord app, register your own account, follow the link and join. Thank you very much. Good afternoon, coach and everyone. Sir, I'm Colette. Good afternoon to you. Hawa Balami says, please, Etana PLC. Hawa, what about Etana? Please put your questions forward. Let me respond accordingly. Official Mobile says, coach, how much is Guinness trading today? I'll go straight up and check it out for you. Guinness at the moment is at 84 naira per share. Everyone listen up. Remember, Guinness is one of the stocks I mentioned. Don't miss out on this one. If you are an investor in the brewery sector, even if I do not invest in breweries sector, I see an opportunity and I can share with you, and that's what's going on right here. Ladies and gentlemen, Honeywell is at 13 naira 10 kobo per share right now. Let's see what's happening with it. 1.7 million bids versus 2.3 million offers, yet the stock price is not dropping. Okay, we go ahead. Please, is Fidelity Bank a good buy for the long term? Movie Boss, actually Fidelity is a fantastic buy. The only thing left for you to do now is to time your entry. Currently there are loads of bids for this stock. 26.7 million shares being bidded for versus 4.9 million on offer. Ideal entry price for me for Fidelity, I would suggest between 18 and 19 downwards. In any case, if it refuses to drop, maybe you wait patiently or pick some at 20 and then hope that it gets better. Look at that. Somebody just flushed several thousands into buying more Fidelity from what I'm talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, may I inform you that I am seeing trading activities going on live on my screen, even that which I'm not participating in. So every trade going on, I'm seeing them per second. Okay? And this is what you benefit from being here on a daily basis, 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time. For those of you who are just joining, this is what we do on a daily basis. A lot of people are confused about stocks. The lack of knowledge also and the lack of publicity given to investing in stocks is one challenge that the authorities need to take care of, because some people's idea about stocks is only when there is public offer or initial public offers in the market, and then you will see people go to banks to buy. And so you hear questions like, when is MTN selling shares? When is Zenith Bank selling shares? Some will say, can I buy UBA in the bank? Well, on a daily basis, stocks are traded. Why? Because in the secondary market, you can be able to buy and sell stocks, because that's where those who already existing shareholders who already own those stocks are able to sell, and you need a broker to do that. So every day trading is going on in the stock markets all across the world, including the Nigerian market. Look at that. Even Sky Aviation suddenly is 50 naira per share, even though obviously it's a sympathy play, because when people look at NACO and can't get there anymore, then they look for the nearest to NACO, which is in the same industry. That's where Skyways Aviation comes in. Please, coach, should we still average down and hold down Sugar and Charms because they are down? Kiddies, we're in Lagos. Remember, we are on a very long term with Charms. From what we are seeing, like I said, anybody who has Charms, because of the not so impressive first quarter result, you will see it struggle around 2 naira and below. But should there be any major dip, it's an opportunity to buy more, because it's too cheap at that price, honestly speaking, compared to what they are doing. It's only a matter of time before it reflects in the result. Maybe, just maybe, the history of Charms could be that first quarter, because that's how it happens for a lot of stocks. In the first quarter, they do not do so well. It is from the second and third quarters that you start seeing fantastic performances that makes up a good full year result. So it's not over yet. But you know what? You can take any negative movement on any of these stocks you are following, as have been mentioned here, and take advantage to buy lower. So never mind, you buying Charms at 199 kobo is so cheap. Let me tell you this. Up till 6 months ago, Charms was still around 2 naira. It's getting to about a year, it's been hovering around 2 naira. More than 6 months, 9 months, or even 12 months ago, Charms has been hovering around 2 naira. So imagine all of the efforts that has been put in, especially knowing the expansion of the business that is going on. That is what has actually contributed to the overhead cost for Charms, and also for Aradel. A lot of people are not taking note that Aradel's report is so fantastic when you look at the revenue, but when you take a good look at the cost of sales, it's almost like double what they spent as cost of sales in the previous quarter. That's because of the so many expansion expenses that they are making. By the way, the first quarter report of Aradel does not include what the asset they purchased is bringing to the table, right? There is this shell asset that they purchased. It is not in that report. So imagine by the time they now add it to the report, maybe in the second quarter, and then we see. Of course, also for Aradel, last year, first quarter earnings per share was 5 naira something. And if you annualize that 5 naira something for the first quarter, if you judge Aradel by first quarter performance, then you are mistaken, because in the end, their earnings per share became about 50 something naira per share, whereas at 5 naira first quarter earnings per share, you will prorata and say, okay, it will be 20 naira, assuming it's 5 naira per quarter in the 4 quarters. So 5 times 4, 20 naira per share. But guess what? They made 50 something naira per share, I think 57 naira earnings per share for the full year, right? And paid out a total of 30 naira per share. So it is going to be too hasty for us to judge the full year 2025 performance of a company just by the first quarter result. And I'm seeing the same repeating itself for Aradel this year. As much as the earnings per share is still better than the previous year, it can be so good going into mid-year 2025. Let's just watch and see. Sometimes they say I talk like a prophet. I'm not a prophet. I'm just saying exactly, logically, sensibly, rationally what will happen. These are part of the things that the ordinary eyes really can't see, because everybody is busy doing some other things. we are older now as well, and it's difficult to learn new skills at your older age. So if you find somewhere where such information is being shared, then you just pay attention. Don't panic like every other person. By the way, as I'm talking, Aradel is gaining 11 naira already, 11 naira 90 kobo now at 459 naira 90 kobo. So in the final analysis, if you got Aradel, enough Aradel, relax yourself. If you have charms, relax yourself. Somebody just bought more than 1 million charms. In fact, charms, while I was talking, was 1 naira 99 kobo. It's back to 2 naira. 15 million shares traded. So just give it, for instance, charms is getting into several other businesses even outside Nigeria. That costs a lot of money to establish. It's just like starting a business now. All you do is throw money in, isn't it? That's it. You throw money in, and then if they say produce a financial report at the time you are starting a business, you have not sold nothing, or you are selling very little, but you have put so much money into it. So there's no how your sales will match up with your bottom line to the extent of giving you profit before you even hit break-even price or break-even to take some time. So charms is too cheap to throw away because of one quarter result. That's my final take on charms. So if you see it under 2 naira and your break even or your entry price is 2 naira, go ahead and buy your charms and relax. Some of these stocks you need to just be patient with them for 6 months and 1 year upwards, and then you see the fruits. Look at what CWG did. Frustrated people, it will move from 5 naira, it will go to 6 naira, it will come down to 4 naira 95 kobo, just be jumping up and down, slowing things down, and other stocks are jumping. You are tempted. I'm sure many people jumped out of that boat called CWG. It will get to 7 naira, it will drop to 5 naira. When you think it's making progress, suddenly it drops drastically. It got to 9 naira at some point, then collapsed to 7 naira, stayed there for so long. Anybody else will be frustrated who bought at 5 naira. I remember it was around 5 naira or less than 5 naira. I started mentioning CWG. In the end, those who bought 5 naira got tired of waiting for it. When it gets to 9 naira, it will now drop to 7 naira and all those things. They sold at 7. I'm sure nobody has told me that, but I believe somebody sold at 7, maybe deciding, well, from 5 to 7, that's almost 50%. I'm done waiting for this stock. Today, what do we have? CWG is on full bid, 10 naira 25 kobo. So those who waited patiently are already 100% in profit. So you can't succeed in this market if you are not patient. You need patience to excel in this market. Okay, yeah, Rehoboth says, Coach, my pain with charms is not paying dividends to pacify investors, at least while waiting for, well, sometimes you take very hard decisions to make tomorrow better. It happens a lot of times. Sometimes they can decide to pay the dividend and not have sufficient cash reserve to continue to grow the business. A lot of times, it is always difficult first before it is easy, right? So it depends on the capital injection. Now, they can decide to pay dividend. That means they will need to go and borrow a lot of money to keep growing the business. That means throwing the business into debt, and that doesn't make it a quality stock anymore. All sorts of options available. But when you decide that you will forgo dividend and rather sacrifice for the business, then you are building a legacy that will last longer. It's just like you who has decided you won't go and spend the extra money you know you can do without. You want to put it in stocks, right? Your real flesh will be angry, will be uncomfortable. I need this, I need that Gucci bag, I need that bone straight hair, and all of those things. I need that iPhone 16 Pro Max, 1 terabyte, the highest of the latest iPhone released, 1 terabyte. That's what I need, and I'm gonna get it. I want it. The picture quality is wow. Everything is fantastic. And you say, no way. That 2 million, that 2.5 million, get back into the market and get me some tip. So your flesh is not happy, but you have taken a worthwhile decision, because in the end, that tip you are sacrificing 2.5 million in 1, 2, 3 years after could just become 10 million, 15 million. At that point, you can buy the latest iPhone 18 if that's what they produce, or iPhone 20 or whatever. That's the way it works. So sometimes some management needs to be seen as being responsible, even though it's a painful decision. If we understand all of these intricacies, we will not bother ourselves too much. And that's why we're in a place like this. We've seen companies and management who were also careless and were all about giving out dividends without a proper foundation. Now, look at this stock, UACN. They made 4 naira per share, and I'm giving you a lowdown of this same pattern that have played out based on the corporate actions of some of these companies. I give you one instance. Like I said, UACN, they made a whopping 4 naira per share, earnings per share, more than 4 naira earnings per share. And they decided, well, we're going to pay the 22 kobo we paid last year because we know where we're coming from. UACN was run aground. There was serious struggle with getting the company to move. In fact, that company would have collapsed. Well, you know what? They brought in a new management who tightened every leakages and then, spun off those businesses that are not the core business. And the moment they focus on the core business and put in all their energy, 3 years down the line, UACN became profitable. This same UACN was lingering around 5 to 7 naira for so long. UACN has bounced back to 30 something. While it got to 36, the owners declared 22 kobo dividend. And people got offended. The price dropped to 26, but it's back up to 30. Right? They have reserved a whole 3 naira something per share in their general reserve. That makes the company stronger going forward. Right? And remember, consumer goods sector is going to be buzzing this year. That's because of the recent price increases from last year, and it is now that it shall be reflecting. So when people are reacting against companies like this, you take your time and take position until their eyes are clear, because they have solid cash reserve that continues to stand them in good stead to compete favorably no matter the harsh economic condition. Right? Another stock that has behaved like that is TIP. This little TIP we're looking at, a whole lot has happened with them. Can I give you an update? In any case, sometimes I don't know if the more I talk about these companies, the more people respond to them, because it's almost like giving out secrets. TIP should be one of the stocks all of you, my followers here, and members of this community, should be aiming at getting at least 1 million shares. But even if you can't, if you've not had any 100,000 shares stock in your portfolio, make sure you get TIP at least 100,000. If you do not have 500,000 shares of any stock in your portfolio, target 500,000 TIP. If you do not have a 1 million shares stock on your portfolio, find a way and gather 1 million TIP for yourself. If you, I'm talking about now of all classes. If you've been buying stock and maybe you've been buying very expensive stocks and you've not been able to get up to 10,000 shares of a particular stock, like Aradel is 400 and something, 10,000 shares is like 4 point something million. If you have not gotten up to 10,000 shares of any stock on your portfolio, find a way to get 10,000 TIP. That will cost you just 40,000 naira. That's all. Right? The whole idea is the speed and progress that TIP is making is going to make any shareholder very, very wealthy going forward. Right? So that's the point I'm making. So everyone, feel free to do what you want now that there is light. Is Dangote Cement a good buy for the long term? Absolutely correct. Dangote Cement, fantastic. They did a share buyback which reduced the number of shares they have, and that means their per share metric is going to improve tremendously. We have sent you a message on Instagram since you have not replied. Chuku Depor. Who is this? Chuku Depor. You have sent who message? Resend the message if you are talking to me. Good morning, coach. What is the best entry price of UBA, livestock, and CWG, please? Well, Umar Jamil, CWG is now 10.25 and unavailable. But whenever it's available from 9 and under, you can buy. For UBA, anything around 33 downwards. Something about UBA that I need to point out to all of us is that they are going to UBA is going to do another rights issue, which will further dilute the existing shares in a bid to meet up their recapitalization instruction. Livestock, I remember it dropped to 7 and got back to 8, so maybe around 8 or below. Let's not be in a hurry to buy up most of these stocks, by the way, so that we don't get caught up with whenever there is a little dip in the market. So I'd like you to, these are times to just take note of those stocks, especially even if you don't have money now, just pencil down these very good stocks that we're looking at based on their first quarter results, and then watch and see how they do. But please, let's note also, the way these things works based on experience that I have is that the first quarter result is not a be all and what do they call it again? Be it and be all or whatever. It's not the end of 2025. First quarter result is just 1 quarter out of 4. There are still 3 quarters. Some businesses struggle towards the end of the year, and one of such businesses is the insurance industry. So be careful not to be deceived with any fantastic performance by an insurance company. And somebody may be asking why. If you want to know, type why. Let me know you are listening to me. Just type why. And the subject is, I said insurance, some companies tend to do better in the beginning of the year and perform badly at the end of the year, while some do poorly from the beginning of the year and then close very strongly. And that's why you should not be all and end all. Thank you very much, Baba Tonabond. Okay, so when you have a situation where a company that characteristically does poorly in the first quarter and does great subsequent quarters till the end of the year, you may be judging that company wrongly from first quarter results. But it is just a heads up. Normally, I make my final conclusions about the overall potential performance of the company after the third quarter result. That's how I do mine. But from the first quarter, I begin to see, what the end may look like, depending on the characteristic of the company. I'm not seeing your whys. Okay, I'm seeing Mabraji has asked why, Ife Chukwude has asked why, Official Mobos has asked why, Neil has asked why, Chijioke has asked why, Dauda has asked why. It looks like Instagram followers are not hearing enough. Okay, Chijioke is asking. He's in a very complete sentence, just in case. Okay, so, all right, I'm seeing your whys now. Mr. Patrick, Sir Amcolet, Smith Oluz. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, Alayomi. All right, success mindset. I'm seeing your whys now. Case on of God. Thank you. Case on of God. Thank you very much. Jesse Emmanuel, I'm seeing your whys now. So let me explain. And please, let's listen up. The insurance sector, which I said usually performs very well in the beginning of the year and does badly at the end of the year, is all a result of the nature of the business, the insurance business, right? What is insurance? Companies and individuals insure both life insurance, health insurance, property insurance, and what have you. Even travel insurance. For those of you who travel by air, some of those tickets you pay for, there is air insurance as part of the fees that you have paid for, even if you do not know. So the point is, every beginning of the year, companies and individuals are required to renew their insurance premium, renew their prescriptions, if you like. And so a lot of insurance companies are receiving inflow, cash, revenue. They call it premium. What they describe in a normal financial report as revenue, if you are reading or studying an insurance annual report, what you will see is premium or gross premium. That's the equivalent of revenue in a standard annual report. So during the first quarter, that's when most insurance premium is paid. Just like you renew your motor licenses, right? You renew your health insurance, all manner of things that you insure, they are renewed at the beginning of the year. So insurance companies are expected to post fantastic first quarter results, second quarter results, and if you get carried away by that, you are going to mistakenly think or conclude that the year will end well. But that's not the case. The question is, why won't the year end well? That's because a lot of insurance claims come in towards the end of the year. So most insurance companies are now made to pay out claims, because in the course of the year, damages will happen. Sometimes they carry on with delaying. How many of you have experienced that insurance companies find a way to delay payment for damages? Maybe you insured a car and it got damaged. They will start an investigation process that will take some time. Will take a whole lot, but they can't escape it, and then they will have to pay out billions towards the end of the year for damaged insured property, whether it's fire damage or accident. And I'm talking about major oil and gas installations that get damaged. You know, all those oil fields that comes under any kind of attack, or there is just a hazard and there's a blow up and there's a fire hazard and all those things. Insurance companies will pay billions in insurance to recover the damage. So during the end of the year, that's when they need to clean out all outstanding payouts. And that's why they get terribly hit towards the end of the year. Right? So you get that clear now. So I have answered your why. At least you now understand. So when we see first quarter results being released like this, don't get carried away. Just take your time and relax. The reason why I mentioned Cadbury is because that's completely different in this case. Cadbury is a consumer goods producer. In fact, fast-moving consumer goods sector, right? And there is nothing that will stop humans from consuming those things as long as we remain on the earth. In fact, towards the end of the year, that's when consumption is higher. Why? Because of the festive season. You get the point now? These are things they will teach you and collect hundreds of thousands in one sitting. And I'm here giving you for free. Come on now, you know what to do. So Cadbury eventually will sell a lot, because the festive season towards the end of the year is a time for giving. So people buy things and share in the spirit of Christmas and so on and so forth. So more sales will happen. So if Cadbury is doing so well in the first quarter, imagine what happens towards the end. And I'm talking about the consumer goods sector, such as Cadbury, UAC, sector players, Cadbury, UAC, Unilever, and what have you. All of those companies will do very well going forward, because we still have quite a number of festivities in the course of the year. You know, we just came out from Easter, and then we will soon enter a Muslim holiday, and then we'll enter another Christian holiday. All of those things calls for a lot of spendings. People just have to give. That's our nature in Nigeria particularly. So those expenses will go on. Towards the end of the year also, companies like NACO will experience, between August and the end of the year, companies like NACO will experience great turnover. Why? Because August is summer, and that's when schools around the world closes. A lot of people go on vacation. So suddenly domestic flights and international flights will increase tremendously. And what that means is more sales or revenue or income, whatever you call it, will flow into the hands of operators in the airspace industry or airline industry, and then of course leisure industry like hotels, amusement parks, and all of that. So August is a major season of reward for a stock like NACO, and then December when all sorts of travels happens. So this is how these things work, and because I am not interested in gathering followers, that's why I'm not particularly crazy about doing videos. I just want, for instance, there are 76,000 followers I have here on TikTok. If I can impart this knowledge on 500 of you, and you use it to your advantage, I'm okay. I'm not crazy about posting videos severally over and over. On Instagram, there are 3,500 followers. If I can impart this knowledge on 100 of you, that's fine. Then you go ahead and make the money. If I made it, it happened, it is coming from this level of knowledge that I'm sharing with you. And you are really investing. Forget the fact that it is a free session that I always have here. You are paying for it with your time. You think you are not paying, you are. You could have been somewhere else doing something else, but you are, because time is money. I know how much money I would have been making now in the 2 hours I submit to you here for free on a daily basis. I know how much money. I know how much trades I would have concentrated here on my system to generate more money. But you see, what use is the knowledge given to you by privilege if mankind cannot benefit from it? Right? Okay, I'll go on to anybody who has a call to make now, we go ahead to make. So you understand how these things works. And this is why I say the matter with the stock market is not something somebody will do seminar one day and leave you alone and go. You will get lost and you will lose money. You need a community it's a family thing. And if you can find a way to stick around, forget it. You can't be stranded. And as a matter of fact, no human being can go out of their way to frustrate you in the name of frustrating you out of a job or frustrating you from making any career progress or the other. I can tell you for free, this is one key of life you can use to settle yourself forever. Imagine if we learn these things now and we now pass it on to our children. We are raising generations of wealth creators. Most of you have already opened your minors account for your children, which is awesome. Up till the day before yesterday, somebody called me, now that I've opened my brokerage account, how can I also open for my children? I said, that's why you open for yourself first, because you must have a brokerage account to become an administrator for your children, who will now have their own forms sent to you to fill. And then when they're of age 18, you can now release it to them. Listen, if you are not following me, you are losing money. And what I'm doing is meant to be a generational impact. So whatever you are learning now, begin to position your children. They may not know anything yet based on their age. Collect form and open a minors account. It will be under your custody. You are the official administrator, or you must first have your own account. So now that we're talking about tip is this or charms is this, 1 naira, 2 naira, buy and keep for them. You just can't. Just imagine that you knew me and you were looking at NACO those days, just 5 years ago, 2 naira. Well, I can afford this for my children. You bought 1,000 shares or 10,000 shares or 100,000 shares. That would have been just 200,000 naira. Do you know how much it is now? That 100,000 shares that you spent 200,000 naira on is now 8 million naira. What you bought for 2 million naira is now 8 million naira only 5 years ago. So if the child was 5 years old when you bought that 200,000 naira shares, the child is now a millionaire at 10 years old. 5 years after, the child just 10 years old is now worth 8 million naira in one company alone. Do you get the point now? That's what we're saying. Okay? Chijoke says, oh, nice, makes sense now. Yeah, that's it. So when you ask a question and responses are given, we are seeing from various other backgrounds and perspectives. I'm talking about the difference between some companies making more money in the first quarter and losing towards the end, or not matching their performance, right? Okay, so that's the way it works. So we are looking at all these things before saying what we say a lot of times, and time will not permit us to explain all of it in details. Okay, so there is a whole lot you can benefit from these things. So how long does it take for a stock to yield you good money? There is no specific time period. There is no time in the market. It's only about buying the best stocks and waiting, and hopefully sometimes within 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, you could see something wonderful. Okay, most banks just increase their SMS alert while Sterling removed theirs. How will this affect Sterling's shares on the long term? Well, it depends. Maybe they found other ways to make more money and so on. Otherwise, they will not make enough money like others. Every bank with their own strategy, right? So that's the way it goes. Tijani Ibrahim is asking if it's good idea to sell some stocks like NACO or Sky Aviation just to make short profit and buy again in case it drops slightly, looking at how much it suddenly gained. Well, the stock market doesn't move on a straight line. Definitely, when it goes very high like this, it finds a way to pull back before it continues. But so on that note, it's okay if you want to sell high and look for a way to come back in later. That's okay. But there is also some probability that you may wait and wait and wait and may not be able to get in at a lower price. But it's absolutely possible, because like I always say, this whole euphoria will die. You remember, some people, when I mentioned NACO at 40, 45, they waited and waited, it refused to drop. Then they bought. Then it got to 50. Maybe if that person sold at 50, waiting that it would drop to 40, it never did, and went up to 60 something. Now it lingered around 60 something for a while. It's looking like, well, 60 something is the highest it has been. I don't see it going any further. I'll wait and see how it comes down so I can buy at 50 something. Well, what we have here, boom, first quarter result is out, boom, 80. Right? So that's the danger in taking that step. But it could work perfectly for you, and you sell high and buy lower. Okay. Ask Henry, said 9 naira, coach, you on fire. Well, it's my luck. Now that you are with me, you can also benefit. And that's why I say, so that's the kind of money you have been losing, not knowing me. Now that you know me, no barriers whatsoever. You can always benefit from the experience that I have to share. I wish I came in contact with you earlier than I did, sir, but I still believe the best time is now. Thank you for all your free help. Thank you, Chijoke. Appreciate your feedback. Coach, you are the best. Papi D's. Thank you very much, Papi D's. Coach, what do you think about the increase in the finance and administrative cost of NACO in Q1? It's basically the same thing everywhere. If you notice, all across board, companies were reporting higher admin costs, right? Finance and admin costs. Some say operational costs. Okay, that's because of the inflationary trend that swept across the Nigerian economy last year. Let's not forget, recall very well, last year the price of goods and services were just skyrocketing. You buy something today, you go back. It's just last year. It happened last year. So what you are seeing in the reports now is a reflection of what went on last year and how the prices of things practically doubled last year. And it is now telling in the reports of these companies. But the good thing about service companies and manufacturers is they can always top up. That's what has bailed out an industry like the brewery sector. They struggled and suffered. But for those who drink, I hear that some bottles of beer that used to sell for 500 naira or 700 naira is now 1,000 naira. And so that increase in the price per bottle means that they will be making a whole lot of revenue. Yeah? So that's the point. So that's why, basically that's why. So they will now spread that cost to the customer because they won't bear it. They have to make profit. They're in business to make profit. So that's what happens. What is your thought on Wema? My thought on Wema completely different right now. The Wema you knew at 9 naira and 10 naira is no longer a penny stock based on the 8 naira per share, but that's annualized, by the way. If you take a look at the report, please don't mistake what you saw there. It's annualized earnings per share of 8 naira per share, which is not bad, very good. So a good indication that Wema should not be selling for anything less than 15. But you know what, between you and me here, we'll just keep quiet and watch. After the euphoria of the first quarter results is settled, look for Wema around 11. Should it ever drop towards 11? You remember I said it long ago that Wema is a 12 naira stock, and then to get to 9, jump to 10, come back to 9, near 11, go back to 9. Somebody just kept on offloading, and I kept saying this is a 12 naira stock. What do we have? Wema jumped to 15 yesterday. Today I saw it at 14. I don't know what it is now. I've just been talking, So just patiently keep quiet and take position. If you see it at 11, buy as much as you can for the long term. Okay? Black Peller. I've done enough analysis about TIP. I'll try again, but let me see questions on Instagram. TikTok right now, because okay, Coach, is Unity Bank a good stock to buy now for long term? Unity Bank is the sickest bank right now, and this is not aimed at abuse or anything. In terms of the health of the bank, that's why their financial reports have not been released for several months, defaulting the rules of engagement in the exchange, and now the stock is not available for trading because it's under technical suspension. The investing public needs to know the health of the company before they invest, and this is why people are advised invest in regulated businesses and sectors, not CBEX and MMM and MBA and all those trash. Invest where there is some level of regulatory control and oversight. One of the rules of getting listed on the exchange is that you must publish your quarterly reports. Yes, the annual report is supposed to be annual, but the investing public who are bringing their money must know the state and health of the business quarterly. Don't wait till the year ends and then you come and tell me we did so badly and we recorded 2 billion loss as against 1 billion profit the last year. No. Show me quarter by quarter what's happening. Let me see. That's why company results are coming out now for the first quarter. So when you see a company refusing to publish their results, they give them a 30 days grace period, they still don't publish. They remind me of students whose parents keep paying school fees for them from beginning of term to the end of the term, and after exams, results are out. The child, on the day of getting the result, seeing that the result is bad, refuses to turn up. School closes at 1 p.m. They've still not seen the child at 4 p.m. back home. Why? Because the child has refused, knowing that he has performed badly, refused to come back home with the result, because the parents will deal the hell with that child. That's what happens. So when companies refuse to publish their results, that's a red flag. You begin to watch. They will give excuses. A lot of times they can say, okay, please, we're having delays based on the new acquisition we had, so we are going to be requesting for an extension of 30 days is the maximum extension after the day you should submit your report as a corporate organization listed on the stock exchange. And if that is not done, you are breaching the rules, and the stock exchange authorities will eventually drop the hammer on your stock. And so they say to save Nigerians from buying what they don't know, technical suspension. But it doesn't mean the end for Unity Bank. Please understand this. Many other stocks have come under technical suspension. Because of last year, a stock like NPF Microfinance Bank, Nigerian Police Force Microfinance Bank, they actually delayed their report and were suspended. But by the time they tidied up and submitted, and of course they will fine them, after they finished what the regulators wanted, they lifted the suspension, and you can now trade NPF Microfinance Bank. It also happened with Mutual Benefits. Mutual Benefits Assurance. Is it Mutual Benefits Assurance? Yes. Were suspended for several months, but got the suspension got lifted this year, sometime this year. So feel free to find a way to understand these things before you invest. So if you go and say you want to even invest in Unity Bank, the authorities have already protected you from making a mistake that you are not aware of, because you can't trade Unity Bank. If you are on your system now, go and check and see. Make an attempt to buy Unity Bank. You won't see any response. That's how sometimes, because some people invest based on sentiment. Maybe this is my bank, or this is where my parents banked, and so on and so on. Or I worked in this bank. Doesn't matter. So, truly speaking, the CBN is working closely with Unity Bank and Providus Bank to work out a merger to keep the bank, Unity Bank especially, in business and eventually profitable in the future. That's what's happening now. Ayomide, what is the best price for tip coach, please? Up till day before yesterday, I said 451, 450. Well, some people bought actually, but it is now on full bid, not available. Mr. Somebody says, is Forex a good way to make money? Absolutely not. I can tell you, Forex is almost like a gamble. You will not rest. That's a market that trades 24 hours. While you are asleep, trading is going on. There is no stoppage for Forex. And a lot of times, all the people I've come across doing Forex, I can't really tell that sustainable wealth can be built through Forex. People have learned trading, but the thing still finds a way to outsmart a lot of people. That is not to say there are no successful Forex traders, but the point is how sustainable. Because actually, you are trading an intangible asset, the currency price movement of various countries. That's what Forex is. So it's not an entity that produces or renders a service. It's difficult to place a hand on it. So in the end, it's about the emotions of different people across board. And a lot of them use AI and all kinds of gadgets and machines. The question is, how can you cope being a human? So I cannot recommend Forex as a way of making, and I'm talking about wealth creation here, not just money. Okay? Without any bias. There was a time I wanted to do Forex, and I decided, let me learn about it, because I don't preach what I don't practice. So it is what I do, I tell you. That's why I don't claim to know it all. So I gathered materials and wanted to understand Forex many years back. But I was too involved in business, because I'd left paid employment that time. I was too involved in business. I could not sincerely find the time to sit down and read all the materials I've gathered. So, but that singular action taught me that anybody who comes to tell you that you should bring money, they are into Forex trading, they will trade and give you so and so every month, is a liar. Because in the process of trying to study about Forex when I started, I saw that no one can predict the outcome. Just like I tell you here about stocks, even when I do my research and everything looks fantastic, there are some stocks that still don't behave. So nobody should give you that solid assurance that 30% of your money that you are investing will be coming out every month from Forex. There is no guarantee whatsoever. So our guarantee, therefore, in this case of stocks, is go to the basics, understand the fundamentals. Are they doing fantastic? What are their antecedents? What are the future prospects? Then we say, this one will do well. But for me to now tell you is going to be a big error. Do you get the point now? So that's it. So even us who invest in tangible businesses that we can see, because stocks is all about businesses. There are businesses we're investing in. They produce services, they render services, they produce goods, right? Even those ones we can see physically can be negatively affected by things we didn't anticipate. One government policy or the other, or one outbreak of one terrible disease or the other can just crush everything. But you know what? At least we have something to see that is happening. People are employed, going to work for even banks. People that you can see the banks physically, they are working, things are happening and so on. Okay? So much more tangible are stocks than Forex. So if we can't also predict stocks, why should somebody now claim that they can give you a guaranteed return every month? Not to talk about this one that came as CBX, guaranteeing 100% per month. However, and people still were not wise enough to understand that this is fake. In an environment and in an economy that the CBN's approved interest rate is not up to 30% per annum, per year, people went ahead to believe 100% per month and could not think that this thing is unreal. So where should the money come from? Well, they've taken the money from the people who went to put money there. It was in a live session like this I heard about CBEX first. And when the person asked that question, typing it, I was wondering, what's this? Is this a new stock that was just listed in the US stock market? I never knew they were asking about an investment, whatever. Okay? All right. I saw a comment from a Bizo talking about coming up. I think, please, how do I call him? Okay, I'll give you a call. I'll search for you on the queue of attendees and call you up. So watch out, a Bizo, for a call if you are available to talk. So far, the best companies, thank goodness, we'll be mentioning them, and some people have already gotten them. A Bizwell, I can't find you on the queue. Just tap on your screen and then you see a phone icon to call in. And one thing with the market is, if you miss a session, you can miss a lot because of the various opportunities that flies around over time. Okay, so I go back to your. Okay, but I'm looking for you on the queue. I can't find you. How else can I search? Okay, I found you. This Ebele. Kenny G Success CBEX is a new stock. I kept wondering. And these days of AI, they now confuse people with all sorts of things. They'll tell you AI is trading for us, this and that, all manner. Just unfortunate. A new one will come out, they'll still go and put money in. And that's why we're here, to open your eyes to see what kind of investment is it? What are you doing? They will never be able to explain. Even educated people fell for it. Definitely. That's why I said you can be educated with a certificate but still be financially illiterate. It is financial illiteracy that is causing all of those things. Because if you are financially literate about how money works and everything, the first thing you will do is when you hear things like that. I mean, the biggest companies are offering commercial papers at what rate? That's the question. The federal government that prints the naira that we use offer treasury bills and bonds at what rate? That's the question. So you, whatever you are, what economy are you operating in? And you are now offering something out of this world. Haba. And so I recommend that book, The Richest Man in Babylon. Anybody who has fallen victim to any of this, because some people are serial victims. They were scammed during MMM. They were scammed during MBA. They were scammed during CBEX. They will still be scammed. The future one coming. Pick that book, The Richest Man in Babylon by George Clason. Read cover to cover and then go and rest. You will never fall a victim of these Ponzi's. I tried calling you back. It's still not connecting. Let me try one more time and see. Okay. Hello, Ebizu.
Hello,
This
sir.
good afternoon to you. Please tell us your name
Good
and where you're
afternoon, sir.
speaking from.
Okay, my name is Ebele. I'm streaming from Saudi Arabia.
Thank you, Ebele, from Saudi Arabia, the oil city, the number one oil producer in the world. Go ahead.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask about tip. Let's say you bought tip at 3.82 kobo, and at the moment it's 4 naira, and you made some profit now that it's 4 naira 95 kobo. Yeah, and you want to accumulate more, but you don't also want to lose the profit that you also made. How would you go about it?
In the final analysis, you make the final call because it's almost like you want to have your cake and eat it, or eat your cake and have it. Since that's not possible, you um, between these two options, one, you want to accumulate means
Yes.
you will still run into money going forward, and wherever the stock price is that you consider is a good price, you will still be able to buy. Two, sell it now at a profit and hope that after this run, which is an upward movement, it will now drop below what you sold. Then you buy, thereby acquiring more based on the margin of profit you were able to make. The danger of this one is you stand a chance of not being able to find it cheaper than you are going to sell now. And
Exactly.
personally, I can tell you that margin of profit is not worth the risk. You bought 380 something, it's only 495 now. That's not enough profit to abandon. I would have said if you were among those who bought at 1 naira 90 kobo in November when I kept mentioning tick, 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 then you want to sell at 4 something. Woo, wonderful. That's more than 200%. Great. Or about 200%. Okay. Now you could sell and hope that it drops to somewhere. But the point is, if you are accumulating, forget about selling nothing right now. Wait, get more money, and then find a way to buy more whenever it pulls back to wherever it bottoms out. I think that's the best approach. In the end, you pick your poison.
I'll just average up because I'll buy now, hoping that it would increase above this price at the moment. I think that's like what I'll do.
The point is, you can't even buy now, it's unavailable.
Yeah, I know. I
I always
noticed.
advise
Yeah.
people not to chase a stock. This tip actually rose above 5 and came back down to below 4. Below 5.
Yes.
So wherever it's jumping to, at this point, just wait and see where it settles again. At that point, you can buy up till the day before yesterday, before the break of yesterday. We
It was
People were
450.
asking, it was still 4 naira 51 kobo. People bought, you get, and now boom. So the euphoria of first quarter results all over the place is still on. So let people who want to make mistakes make their mistakes when everything is done. You know you are buying at a reasonable price. But this tip is actually currently undervalued. And if you ask me, should be hovering around 7 naira fair value.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Let's
Thank you.
hope the market is not hearing this one until we finish buying.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Bye, sir.
Bye for now.
Thank you.
Okasam says, Coach, I wanted to invest in TIP. Unfortunately, it's fully bid. Can I reinvest in Charms? Hold on for Charms. Let's see how badly the market reacts. Recently, I've not seen it that badly in terms of how the market reacts. So we see how it goes. I'm trying to sign in now because I've been logged out, having not been active enough. But let's see what's happening with a stock like Charms, right? Please, 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 everybody, you have a stock, please be patient. Just stay patient. Anything can happen. Look at Champs. Champs is back to 2 naira 10 kobo. These Champs that sold at 199 today. So it shows you, like what I said, it confirms and corroborates the point I was making that Charms has remained stagnant for several months and cannot just be falling because of first quarter performance. Oh, Shegun Aroye says he just bought tip at 4 naira 90 kobo. Really? You see? We've not gone anywhere. Well, tip is now available. Oh, it's not available. I thought it was 495. How is it 490 now? Well, that's the problem with tip. Tip will just keep doing up and down. For the wise and brave ones, just keep buying low when it goes down. Suddenly it's available. Somebody is accumulating Presco seriously. I'm checking by the minute trades going on here. Presco is getting 78 naira 50 kobo per share. Currently 863 naira 50 kobo per share. Wow. Can I salute everybody who bought Presco even when it was selling for around 700? I'm not talking of those who bought at 450. It really looked expensive then, but I said buy Presco, buy Presco. You bought at 450 and you also bought at 700. Can I salute you? Can I just salute you? 78 naira 50 kobo. If you, oh my God. These things are really interesting. Ekomi says, imagine, I still bought Charms 1 naira 97 kobo this morning. These are the brave ones we're talking about. They go out there and dare the undareable. So what about those who might have reacted so negatively and sold theirs at 2 naira? So one thing with this market is relax and keep your feet on the ground. No knee-jerk reactions. It can be disruptive. Yeah? So what do you think about QTix? Don't worry, QTix will have its time. Stay patient. If you can and you want to buy QTix. Let me take a look at what's happening with QTix. Whoa, QTix is up 2 naira 48 kobo. QTix has actually lingered too long at 2.3, 2 naira 30 kobo for so long. Currently 248 QTix and 14.2 million bids versus 5.2 million offers. QTix is one of these stocks that keeps giving. QTix is one of those stocks that keeps giving. As we speak, last year it gave 1 for one bonus. This thing that Africa Prudential just did this year, QTix did it last year. That's why the price has not really moved yet. But watch out. Let me see the 52 weeks high of QTix. Thank you very much. TikTok police just sent me roses. 52 weeks high is just 3 naira 37 kobo. 52 weeks low is 2 naira 10 kobo. All right. Take a look. I told you about CWG. Suddenly, a stock that was on full bid, there are 3.5 million offers. Can you see that? It was 10.25, highest price for the day, but guess what? It's 10.10 now. So it could end up below 10 today. That's one thing with CWG. It keeps frustrating the shareholders, especially if you're not patient. So have a lot of patience if you own CWG. Shegun Aroye says, yes, I did. Okay. Elvis Presley said, Coach, what about FCMB shares? FCMB is one of the dollars in the banking sector right now. Too many on supply, and their performance is not fantastic. I haven't taken a good look at their first quarter result, Joe. Okay, please, I registered Atlas since Tuesday, but not getting any message yet. Tuesday this week. Well, do not count yesterday. Yesterday was public holiday, right? So you have had just 1 day plus, and normally 48 hours to 72 hours. In any case, call Temitope. Atlas is here. Maybe I should bring them on board. Okay, I have two callers, Zini and Dawuda. Okay, I have just lost Zini. Let's go on to getting Dawuda on board. Hello, Dawuda.
Hello, good morning, well, Coach. How are you?
Very well, thank you. Good afternoon to you. Please tell us where you're streaming from.
I'm streaming from Abeokuta, Ogun State.
Thank you, Dawuda, all the way from Abeokuta.
Yeah. Please, I'll DM you later because presently now I have some visitors with me. I'll DM you later, personally.
Okay, not a problem, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Bye for now. Okay, so Atlas, if you can, on the comment section, can you kindly attend to talk Temitope? Temitope needs your attention, even though I've already explained to him it doesn't happen that fast, considering yesterday was a public holiday. ESM is new here. Thank you very much for joining. You say you are just joining for the first time. Let's see. I would like Maobi to talk to you on this. Hello, Maobi. If you can hear me, can you come on live so you can talk to him while I still scan the market? ESM, I'm giving you a call now to come on board. So it will be a back and forth voice conversation.
Good afternoon, sir.
Very good afternoon to you. I'm waiting for Maobi to join us, but please go ahead and tell us your name and where you're streaming from.
Okay, my name is Emmanuel. I'm streaming from Lagos, Ojodubega precisely.
Emmanuel, all the way from Ojodubega, Lagos. Thank you very much for joining.
Okay.
So, what's your question? Can you go ahead? I'm bringing somebody to talk to you also.
Okay, I just come across this online and I don't know anything about it, but I have been following you and hearing your talk. Then I said that let me be part of this. I don't know how to start.
Okay, I will call on POO to respond to you right now. Yes. Oh. Are you there? Hello.
I'm with
Okay.
you.
First things first, you always have confidence, meaning you need to understand anything you are trying to make maximum returns for yourself. But also understand that you can't make money. You have a community of investors on Discord.
Okay.
On Discord, you're gonna have some helpful beginner guide videos that you can go through at your leisure so that you can be able to enjoy some of the things that should be foundational knowledge. Then you start. On starting out, you still may not understand everything, but because you know the foundational details of what is happening, you will now be able to open your stock brokerage account. So, what you would do is follow me on Instagram at Wealth Coach. I'm typing my Instagram handle here so you can search for me on Instagram, follow me, and send me a DM saying you want to get started. I'll send you the link to those videos that you need to watch. Then I'll send you the link to join the Network Investors Club. Then I'll also send you the link to open your stock brokerage account, all for free. When you join the group, you will see discussions and be able to follow discussions going on so that from a distance you watch and see what's happening and so on. In any case, you can ask any kind of question there. That's because 2 hours live here is not enough. We have created that platform so that anybody else can ask questions any time of the day, and our admins and other experienced members in the club will be able to answer. When you buy stocks, you are buying a portion of a company and you become a shareholder. That's why when they pay dividends, you have a share in it. When you buy stocks, apart from dividends that you earn every year, some stocks companies pay twice, some pay once, one pays 4 times a year. You have created a system of earning money regularly. For instance, schools have resumed, but you know what? Schools are resuming exactly about the time dividends are being paid. So somebody like me, I don't know what school fees pressure feels like. Why? Because my stock portfolio is structured to give me money at various times, including my investment in bonds. So towards the end of the year, for example, I receive bond interest coupons. They call it coupons. So that Christmas, no struggle. There is always money dropping to attend to any short-term immediate needs, right? And then for these school fees, for instance, I have never had to wait till the school to resume before I pay fees. It's always during holidays. I just pay their fees before the school resumes. So as they are going to school, everything is done. No pressure of any kind. That's the kind of life that we are trying to forge for ourselves. And this is something I have done for 27 years. It has worked for me, and that's why I'm doing it for free for any interested person to also participate. Sometimes some people say, "Oh, I don't have the time. I don't even know what to do." Well, in the final analysis, you will eventually know what to do, or you get involved in my one-on-one coaching. At that point, you are off the general platform, even though you are seeing everything going on, but you want me to take you by the hand, structure your portfolio, pursue stocks you should buy, then we do it that way, completely separately from the general. But do you know what, ladies and gentlemen, while we are yet speaking, somebody is accumulating charms, and what do we have? 50 million charms have been traded, and charms has jumped to 2 naira 25 kobo. We saw it 1 naira 99 kobo. Charms is now 2 naira 25 kobo. Tell me that there is not something in that charms. Please, like I said, patience. Everybody, patience. If you have bought a stock I mentioned here, patience, so that you don't sell and then immediately after you sell, you see the stock price jump, boom. Yeah? So thank you very much, ESM. That's the much I can say for now. Enjoy the rest of your day. I look forward to your success story also. Listen, you don't need to have a degree in accounting or banking and finance or anything. You just need desire. The rest will provide for you on our platform in this community. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, sir. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye for now.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are saying. Stick to your strategy. Don't fall for any noises in the market. Basically, this is what people miss and make errors in their investment portfolios. This is what people miss. And this is why I'm here to help you keep your feet on the ground, eliminate that fear that makes you sell at a loss. Stay in there. Before our very eyes, Charms is back up 2 naira 25 kobo. Oh, Juliet just bought Charms 199. Wow. Come on now, Juliet. Let me hear you. I'd like to hear some of these very brave moves that people are making right here. Juliet bought Charms 199 this morning. It's now 225. 50 million shares traded, costing about 107 million naira. And you tell me that there is nothing in that stock? Wait and see. Coach, which stock can I buy with 100K to hold for 4 months' time? Well, if you know me, you will know that I do not take pride in timing the market. I can only mention good stocks for you. Whether they behave well 4 months after now is not in my hands because of what I keep explaining, that the market has all sorts of challenges that can influence its behavior and movement. You are facing various government policies. You are going to be facing various corporate action policies. Like I said, UACN refused to pay more than 22 kobo when they had 4 naira per share to pay. What is the other one? TIP refused to pay 50 kobo when they had 1 naira. They decided they would pay 10 kobo and they retained 90% of their earnings per share. That's a smart move. That's a company trying to grow organically and reserving cash for future expansion. If you understand these things, you will endure and wait. Right? That's what Presco did until they now took that loan to buy that facility, that company in Ghana. But guess what? That acquisition in Ghana now provides them the opportunity to do exporting of their products, thereby earning US dollars. Wow, these guys are amazing. Ojuk said, I bought Charms 199, but order partially filled. 125,000 filled, 200,000 yet to be filled. Why? I'm sorry, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. I should have placed your order early enough. I'm so sorry. But you see, somebody came and cleared up to 225. Okay, I'm seeing 219. It's going to be difficult now. Honestly, it's going to be difficult to buy it less than 2 naira from what I'm seeing. Let me do the price bid and offer analysis. Okay, bidders are also refusing to bid too much. The highest bidder is asking at 2 naira 9 kobo, while the lowest offer is at 219, and somebody has bought at 219. So it's at 219 now. Wow. Grace bought at 199. You guys are simply amazing. I get encouraged when I see bold moves like this. Beauty Finds Shop says, I always struggle with signing in with Atlas on my devices. Just keep saying connecting. Then I miss out on my purchases. Help. Atlas, please, can you come forward and help Beauty Finds? Just come forward, Atlas. Where are you? Maybe I should call Beauty Find in as well and pair the both of you. Let's have a live discussion so you can sort her out. I think it has something to do with clearing your cache or something. Let them advise you. Hello, Atlas, are you there? Still searching for you on the queue. If you can call in, please do. If you are not following me, you are losing money. Now you can see and you understand. Well, I'll keep expecting Atlas to come up so that they can attend to you. I can't find them on the queue at the moment, but hopefully it's something I have also experienced. You'll be fine. Would like to book an appointment with you, Oviero Anthony. Oviero Anthony, you can do that following a DM on Instagram. If you do not have Instagram, just drop a message on TikTok. Chodavos says, how can I get one-on-one? One-on-one. Okay, one-on-one. Follow me on Instagram and then send me a DM. My Instagram handle is at Wealth Coach Omiete. I've typed it there again. I've also pinned it. So send me a DM on Instagram for your one-on-one. Yeah. Luchi Natural says, Coach, check Veritas Cap. Veritas Cap did not do very well. I mentioned it in the group that Veritas Cap disappointed, but interestingly, the stock price just gained. That's another very volatile stock. Goes up and then drops. Currently, 1 naira 19 kobo. I know that some people bought at 1 naira 11 kobo. It closed at 111 yesterday, but currently at 119. 18 million bids versus 6.8 million offers. So even when the bids are more than the offer, you still get people coming to sell lower than the lowest offer. For now, it's gaining very well. Okay, let me see your questions on Instagram. Chijoke says serial victims. I read the book in 2020, changed my life. Fantastic. Good afternoon, Coach. Please, what does it mean when transaction is shown executing for days? Should I cancel order and rebuy or leave it, sir? Leave it alone. Executing for days, that means your bid should continue to exist for the rest of the day, so that even if it is not filled, it can continue to be showing that you want to buy, so they can sell to you whoever comes across your bid, and if they are happy with what you are bidding for. Okay, so sorry, Coach, I'm in another meeting. No problem, VOO. Coach, when is the best time to buy tips and champs? There is no best time to buy any stock. There are only best prices per time. And the best price to buy tip is 451, though it's run to 495 and currently available at, maybe not available at 490. Ladies and gentlemen, Aradel, 18 naira gain today, 466. If you didn't buy at 447 or 450, it's your fault. I've told you, if you are not making money, you are okay. If you are not following me, you are losing money. If you are following me and not making money, it's your fault. Yes, I have added another line to that statement, because Aradel will be sitting down here looking at us until eventually it will not be available. Why is it now moving? Because we are approaching the qualification date for their dividend, 22 naira per share dividend, final dividend. Then for charms, I said 2 naira. So that's the best price, not best time. If you decide best time to buy a stock, you come at that time, the price is in the sky, then you might buy wrongly. Do you consider multiverse mining and exploration a good buy at current price, and your thoughts? The result was not fantastic, therefore allow multiverse to bottom out. That's my advice. If you had bought multiverse the day before yesterday, you would have been paying more for it than if you go in today. Official Mobile says, Coach, I bought Aradel at 447.3 at your instruction. I'm in gain as it is. Absolutely, you are. Let me even go and see what the bid and offer status is like for Aradel, right? Okay, 374,000 bids versus 196,000 offers. Aradel currently 467 naira per share. Guess what? A lot of trades have happened on this stock. 564,000 Aradel traded, valued at 256 million naira. So you know where the money is going. Call me, tell me, say I miss Aradel because of Atlas sign up. It's not just Aradel, it's not just Atlas sign up. They explained to us the other day that they were having issues with CSCS platform. So a lot of times that's the reason. In any case, it's not late. There are some people that bought Aradel at 515. So it will still get back up, but it's still where it is for something, right? Coach, you too much. I got 25,000 Aradel at 447 dancing as my portfolio increases. Well, we have a long way to go and get ready to have a long dance because we are talking about a stock that should be selling for 800 or 1,000 naira. But take it easy. We just don't know when. But you are in the boss, not a problem. $100 for investment. Please advise which one to buy. What's your investment strategy in terms of your investment goal? What do you want to achieve? Yeah, also expecting my dividend. You can imagine 22 naira on that volume for a start because by October again they will declare interim dividend. Last October they paid 8 naira per share. And if you add that to the final 22, that's 30 naira per share annual. So expect nothing less than that again for the financial year 2025, beginning with what shall be declared as interim dividend. Coach, please talk about Cornhall. Cornhall is actually invested in Aradel, and Aradel also has shares of Cornhall. So whenever Aradel makes money, Cornhall surely is going to make money. That's the best I can say about it. So when you see Cornhall where it is now at 2 naira 89 kobo, that's a good entry price. Currently, we have 9.2 million offers. In any case, maybe you want to take a look at the financial reports I have not seen. Could that be the reason why there are more offers? 9 million versus just 650,000 bids? Maybe. Maybe not. And if the financial report is not bad, this is a good opportunity to buy for the long term. Thank you very much. Nse Ikbat, is Wando a good buy for now? That's what nobody knows because Wando continues to confuse their investors, and that's why it is that confusion that has led to the crash from 72 down to 40. If they fail to produce very good results for the first quarter, there will be a problem. But if they try to do better than the first quarter 2024, then that will be good for the stock. Because all along, it's always been one means or the other that has been pushing Owando. And it's time to really go for value. What value has been created? I think people forgot some people bought around the beginning of the year at 525. Please buy now. Exactly. Juliet says, Sir, Wema, is it a good buy? Wema is actually a good stock, but whether it is a good buy now is what I will say. Hold on a bit. Yeah, I see it. It's dropped to 1330 right now. Just relax, find a way to target Wema and buy from 11 naira downwards. GG says it rained dividend last week and this week. Kudos. Kudos to all of you. This is how the life should be. Sometimes you shouldn't always have to work for money. You now see what I mean by let your money work for you. And by dividend income, your money is working for you. Right? That's it. Apart from capital gains that you will see if you stay long in the stock market, dividends will just keep coming and coming like that. Coach, please explain the relationship between Aradel and corn oil. I've explained. It's not corn oil, please. It's corn hall, consolidated hallmark insurance. So corn hall is actually an insurance company. Imagine Cornhall dealing with Aradel in terms of the insurance of its facilities. You know how much premium Cornhall will be collecting? Oh my God, please understand this detail so that you are not like every other person on the street who just jumped into the stock market. Cornhall is an insurance company, and there is that oil and gas insurance is one of the best businesses that any insurance company can get. And it's also one of the riskiest because when you have to pay premium, when you have to pay for damages based on insured equipment or facility getting damaged, you will cough out. But you know what? A lot of times there are safety measures which oil companies adopt that make sure that hazards and losses are brought to the barest minimum. So even when the company pays out heavily on insured equipment and facilities, they take great safety measures to ensure they don't get damaged. And so the insurance company now makes a lot of money if there are no damages. Right? So all the money that Aradel will be spending on insurance is going to Cornhall. And as Cornhall keeps making money, as Aradel continues to keep any form of hazards as low as possible, Aradel, being a part owner of Cornhall, will still benefit from the money Cornhall is making. While Cornhall is also a shareholder in Aradel, as Aradel makes oil money, Cornhall is also making that money by way of being a shareholder like you and I. You get the logic now. That's it. Today's session is looking like it's already loaded. If you believe that, type loaded, loaded. I want to be sure that I'm seeing that you can hear me. Type loaded, loaded, both on Instagram and on TikTok. I want to see your loaded, loaded, loaded. One other stop, okay? While you are typing your loaded, keep typing. Let me be sure I'm hearing you guys, okay? I'm seeing you there. Aponji, Akinwumi. Okay, lots of loading. Zini, call me Temitope, Abe, okay, Skipper, okay. So a lot of patience is required. And that's why a stock like Presco just was hovering around 700, refused to drop, and now boom, Presco is on full bid. 5.1 million bids at an average of 800 naira. Can I tell you how much has been staked? 5 million bids times 800 naira average, even though Presco is, by God, 4 billion naira has been placed to purchase Presco, an average of 4 billion naira. Sometimes you think you are making a mistake until you see how much the market values a particular stock. Presco is now 863 naira, 5.1 million bids. I'm just saying, at an average of 800 naira per bid, 5 million out of the 5.1 million is worth 4 billion naira. And you know the way this works. If you don't have sufficient funds, you can't place a bid. I hope you are aware. That's it. So imagine that in this day and age, 4 billion naira is being staked for a particular stock, and you have been my follower and you refuse to have it. Adet says Presco is always going up. Oh my God. Kiddies were in Lagos. I just checked QTix. I'll go back and check again. QTix 2 naira 48 kobo. Heavy bids, 16 million bids, only 4 million offers. Juliet says, Coach, please, how do I know if my stock has been dematerialized by Atlas Portfolios? You will see it on your trading platform when you log in and search for your portfolio. So you'll find it on your portfolio once dematerialization is done. Okay, Front End Warrior says, please, how do I start buying shares? UBA for a start. Well, whatever informed your decision for going for UBA, not a bad idea at all, especially amongst banking stocks. The first thing to do is open your stock brokerage account. I'll send you a link if you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram handle is at WealthCoachOmiete. I've pinned it on this live session on TikTok. Follow me there, send me a DM, I'll send you the link. But we always advocate knowledge. Therefore, I'll also send you the link to my YouTube channel. All of these things are on my link tree on my bio. Click on it, go on my YouTube channel and see some of the beginner guide videos. They can be very helpful in creating a platform or foundation for you to get started with knowledge. Also, request for the link to join our Net Worth Investors Club. We have members scattered across the world, including in Nigeria, and foreigners also involved. We are nearing 2,000 members now, and we are on Discord app. I'll send you the link to open your Discord account, download and install on your phone, then you can follow the link. So this is how you can get started, because the community helps you with daily information outside the 2 hours I spend with you in this live stream. All of it for free. Unless you are in the category of those who feel you want a much more closer one-on-one coaching, then we can now talk about that separately. Coach, can you see this message? Front End Warrior, I just responded to you. Sorry about that. You know, when I speak for a while, some accumulated messages jump because the system is trying to continue to scroll and show me current messages. So along the line, I miss out by mistake. The link I received was expired upon joining. David, yes, that's because the link is meant for the protection of members. So you eventually don't, if you don't use it early enough, it expires and you will now require a new one. That's how Discord protects users of that platform. And so far, we've not had infiltration by hackers and all those people who come to distract people and lure people away. That reminds me, someone has been going about creating fake accounts in my name with my photos and trying to lure people into registering an app, right? Please, once again, I repeat, I will not come into your DM uninvited and start asking you about how your investment is doing. I already have sufficient DMs suffocating me personally. So I don't have that time to come and start telling you, come and invest outside this live session and on the group. I won't come and ask for money from you in your DM. Anybody who does that, tries to chat you up using my photo or anything, is a scammer. Run. Please, I beg you, once again. Somebody was defrauded when he was deceived to part with 100,000 through Facebook this time, chatted him on Facebook Messenger, opened a new account, asked him to be friends. I do not have any duplicate account on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Never. So be safe, please. And if you come to my DM, I know you came, then we can communicate on whatever you want to do. But I won't come to you and start pressing you. I have enough followers. Like I said, on TikTok, you are 76,000. I'm not a social media freak that wants to grow followership. I just want, out of that 76,000, if 1,000 can do what I'm saying and see money work for them in their own life, just as I've seen work in my little life for the past 27 years of doing this, I am fulfilled. I won't go about looking for you to press you to put money here and there. No. It's an open, clear market. That's why even in Network Investors Club, nobody will come to you to say, bring money, we'll invest for you so that it will go, they will give you returns. Never. It's a that's the reason why it's a do-it-yourself club. We tell you everything plain. You ask your question, it is plain, public, everybody is seeing it. The responses are straightforward and sincere. Please, 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 do not be a victim of these crazy human beings. I've reported the account on Facebook, I've reported the account on TikTok, I've also done disclaimers, but you know, the handlers of these social media accounts or platforms are still not banning those accounts. So there's nothing I can do anymore. But just keep following, ask your questions openly, and feel free to create wealth with me. Coach, please, the stock is not in my portfolio. Juliet, then you should contact your broker to confirm if they have concluded the dematerialization, because it takes some time sometimes. Hi coach, can one still buy, sell even when the market has closed? No. When the market is closed, it is closed. Right? When the market opens 10 a.m. Nigerian time to 2:20 p.m. That's why the live session is from 12 to 2. So I can still have the remaining 20 minutes after 2 p.m. to check my own trades. I know what I'm missing talking to you because there are so many opportunities that happen with time, but I don't mind. If among the Instagram followers, out of 3,500 of you, 100 does what I'm saying and begins to see results in the next 1 year to 5 years, I am fulfilled. I'm not looking for numbers. I'm looking for wealth creators. You know why? Because up there amongst the rich, they are not in their multitudes. There will always be fewer wealthy people in the world compared to the world's population. Right? Thank you very much. So if I am not giving you information that will make you money, I don't have time to waste. That's why I'm happy to see all the positive reports and feedbacks I'm getting from you all. 5 minutes before today's session closes, it's been a wonderful day and a wonderful week for us. The Nigerian market is picking up with speed. And I can tell you one of the dejected stocks that has given us a lot of time to bounce in. UPDC, currently 315. Some of you bought under 3 naira and I kept saying buy under 3 naira. 3 naira 15 kobo, we'll see how far it goes. What are the difference between Atlas Portfolios and City Trader? City Trader is the online trading portal by Atlas Portfolios. Going wrong, Gabriel, I hope you got that right. Okay, Sammy West says, Coach, what about Nestle? Nestle is heavily saturated. I remember those days when I got started. Nestle was 9 naira and I thought it was too expensive. Well, Nestle now is 1,200 naira. It's actually saturated. There is not too much money left to make in that stock. Solid company that has grown from that 9 naira, I knew it, to 1,200 naira. So imagine you buy a stock 9 naira now, it grows to 800 naira or even 20 naira. That's a lot. That's what we're trying to do. Identify the new runners for the future. Fancy Nails says, Coach, should we keep buying USCN? Yes. Just take your time, buy the little you can per time, and relax. USCN currently down to 32.55. Remember, it was coming from 26 where it dipped to, but things are looking better now, even though the first quarter result is not too wonderful. But you see, like I said, you don't judge a company by just one quarter out of 4. And based on the antecedents regarding the 2024 full year report, you don't want to just wish that stock away. So what's happening with Cadbury again? One of our new entrants, Cadbury, currently 31 naira 90 kobo, up from 29, and it's on full bid. Cadbury sometimes can also be erratic in its behavior. Okay. Aradel seems to be getting a lot of patronage. We'll see how it goes. Currently, it's trading at 468 naira. So Aradel currently gaining 20 naira per share today. 2 minutes before I go, so let me do my rounding off right now. Does Consolidated Hallmark PLC pay dividend? I will need to find out what the dividend history is. I can't respond immediately. Coach, what about Valency Agro Nigeria Limited? Is it NJ stock? Sir, there is no stock like Valency Agro Nigeria. Please be safe and do not fall for a scam. What are we getting in US market today, sir? Well, yesterday I bought TSM, Taiwan Semiconductor company. I think that you can buy TSM also. It hasn't gone too far from where it was. And then I also bought Amazon. The price went to $190. But when the result came out, not that the result was bad, but because they didn't give guidance, I think the stock price now came down a bit. So you can be sure that TSM is a good buy in the international market. And I can't take a look at my I'm trying to take a look at my watch list, but I can't because the devices are up here capturing today's session. But let's see how much the market has reacted to TSM. I bought at 172 yesterday, $172 per share. TSM. Okay. Woo! TSM is, it closed at 172, but in pre-market it's 179. Wow. And then I also bought Amazon yesterday because of the full year result that was pending publication at the end of trading yesterday. Eventually it was published. The stock price, even Amazon, after closing at 190 yesterday, is now 192. See? So apart from Amazon and all these stocks, I also have my eyes on a stock like OPFI. OPFI is a finance company in New York, currently 960, pre-market 950. Anything around 9 and under is a good buy for OPFI. There are some new entrants because I do not believe in always hanging around the biggest and most popular stocks. But you see these ones I've mentioned: Amazon, Google. Oh my God, Google has so much potential going forward. A lot of people are not aware. Google 161 yesterday, currently 163 in pre-market. Then I mentioned also NVO at 57. NVO has left 50, climbed to 60 and still going. Novo Nordisk is currently Yesterday closed at 65. Today pre-market is at 69. Can you see that? All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've come to the end of today's session. I kept going on and on about these foreign stocks until it's already 2:02 p.m. Thank you very much. Wow, Luchi says Aradel is at 490. The magic is happening already. Okay, I'm seeing it at 488 right now. It's down to 469. It looks like somebody is struggling to bring it down, but not a problem. They will get tired. Ours is to stay in the box for as long as possible. Thank you very much. Walk toward, that's the truth. Champs from 199 to 217. Awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, this is where we call it quits today. Thank you very much. It's a fantastic week. And it's a brand new month. What a way to start the month. The Nigerians buzz is buzzing indeed. So see you again 12 noon to 2 p.m. Nigerian time next week from Monday to Friday. Until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a fantastic day. Bye for now.